Hope you're ready for some Diddy Kong racing with Leah. Take it away, I guess.
This Diddy Kong Racing. This is the best racing game on the N64. I don't take criticism on that opinion. You're gonna see some very fast things. We've got 3 vehicles in this game. We're not limited to just, driving in a car. We've got a car, we've got a hovercraft, and we've got a plane. I guess I'll just get right into it in 3, 2, 1, go. So immediately, and you're going to hear this before you see it, this is not quite a conventional racing game. So in most other racing games, what you want to do is hold down that A button at all times. In Diddy Kong Racing, we're going to be tapping it most of the time, because essentially in the car vehicle, the A button will give you a burst of acceleration, but it will also give you traction onto the ground. And that traction will slow you down, so what we want to do is tap the A button so that we get the acceleration, but we don't get so much of the traction slowing us down. There is a best way to do this as well, so it's not quite mashing. That's a common misconception. You will hear that I'm doing it at different rates, depending on the situation. So basically the best way to do it is, in the car vehicle, to tap it once every 4 frames. And the thing about that is that the frame rate can change in this game. It's not just one set frame rate. So, ideally the game will be running at 30 FPS, but it can run at 20, 15, and even 12 if there's enough lag happening. So, I'd say most of the time you're running at 20 FPS, so that corresponds to about 5 taps a second, which is a very manageable thing to do for this to be good. Oh, nice! Yep, let's go. I was really hoping to get a sub 1 minute there. Nice. I kind of glossed over that entire track because I was too busy explaining A-tapping, but that is only the second track, but it's actually one of the hardest tracks in the run. Anything can happen there, really. Couple minutes, a really solid time, really glad I got it. I was struggling in practice today. A good thing to mention this track, and it was actually relevant just then on lap 2, oh no, is that unlike worse racing games in P64, the other racers don't actually rubber band in this game. They're more so stationary obstacles, and we're going to be lapping them once, sometimes even twice per race. I didn't plan this out super well. We're now in a plane, and a plane will usually mean one thing in this game, which is that we're now out of bounds. Don't worry about it. So, when we're out of bounds, all we need to do is touch the checkpoints to get the game to count progression. And in this pack there are just 2 checkpoints, one at the very top, one at the bottom. And what we're also doing in plane is constantly barrel rolling, because this is just faster. Essentially a barrel roll acts as a boost, and while we're boosting we don't want to be touching the A button, so we're actually pretty much not touching the A button at all when playing, most of the time. I'll explain more about plane when we go on to other plane tracks. We have 4 more in the run. But for now we've got to jump into another vehicle, which is hovercraft. So in hovercraft, the third vehicle, we're always going to be holding the R button. Oh wow, I got completely destroyed there. We'll be holding the R button at all times, and we're going to be moving the joystick from up left, up right at all times. This is called snaking, and it's the fastest way to move in hover. So basically, because hover kind of struggles with turns, the developers kind of added an inbuilt speed mechanic where you gain speed while turning. We can abuse this by turning on straights. And that is what snaking is, or what it allows us to do. Well, it's actually a pretty good way. Now, if you combine that with A-tapping, very nice way. Combine it with A-tapping, you can go very fast in Hover. And we got a second Hover track right after it. Pirate Lagoon. This is a very difficult track to do well. Definitely the hardest Hover track that we do in this run. Oh no. One thing about Hover is that when you are coming out of the boost, you have to hold the A button for a bit to build up this invisible stack called Throttle. And only when you have max throttle can you start A-tapping, so you have to hold it for about a second before you can start A-tapping again. The effect that has is that you really want to stay in a boost state for as long as possible, so you want to get nice long chains of boosts. Like, hopefully I get it here. 1, 2, 3... oh no. Oil flick. That would be 4. Very hard to do that, especially getting it all 3 laps. You can also probably hear that the way I'm A-tapping in Hover is slightly different to how I'm doing it in car. It's almost the opposite. You can think of it more so as like A-releasing is a better way to describe it. Because whereas in car, you want it to be like these very fast motions, you ideally only want to be tapping the button for 1 frame each time. In Hover, and also playing, but you don't A-tap in playing so much, you want to only release for 1 frame at a time. So, you can kind of think of like, if you were to look at my hands right now, you'd see me very much like slapping my thumb down on the controller, kind of, right now, because I'm in car. In Hover, you'd see my thumb a lot closer to the controller, and only barely moving off each time to get those little A-releases in. But we do still tend to just call it A-tapping. Pleasant Island is a pretty chill car track. There's not too much that can really happen here. This last turn, or actually the ship section is quite difficult to maneuver, definitely a more advanced car section. This last turn, definitely play it a bit safe in full game runs in this category. You can do it full YOLO, as they say, without holding the A button at all to slow yourself down, but it's very risky. Moving on to Treasure Cave, there's a boost chain I want to hit in this track. Perfect. Like that. I like to think of Treasure Cave as like kind of a playground for car mechanics. There's so much going on here, especially in the time trial mode, where you don't have the blue boost balloons to play with. There's a lot of really advanced car mechanics you can use in this track at the top level. One of them I'm going for is a thing called air tap, where I'm trying to tap the A button about a frame before I land from a boost, or whenever I take a boost into a jump, I'm trying to tap the A button about a frame before I land, because that will hold more of the boost. You can kind of think of it like getting the wheels spinning before I land. Is a good way to think about it. Moving on to our second plane track, Everfrost Peak. This is our first inbound plane track, so there's no shortcut on this one. This better shows off the barrel rolls, and also the fact that we're not really touching the A button at all. So there's a boost chain I'm trying to go for there. I didn't get one of the boosts there, but I still mostly got it right. And you want to do that 3 times. See how I do here. Perfect. Very good lap. See how I finish this out. Oh, missed that. $56. Nice. Generally, you just want to get under a minute there, so 56, very good. There's also kind of a thing where, in playing, if you make a mistake, where possible, you want to back it up by simply doing another barrel roll. A couple cases in that track where I want to do that. And there was an example on lap 3 there, where I missed the zipper, so I did a barrel roll to back it up, instead of holding A, waiting for my throttle to get back up. It's just faster to do a barrel roll a lot of the time. This is a very fun track. Very difficult, but can be very fun if you get everything in this track. There's a little chain I want to go for here. Oh, whoops. So, zipper. And you can use the balloon right here, go for a little bounce. I don't go for that, it's a bit risky. But you can chain it into this zipper instead, which is about as fast. Technically slower, but still quite fast. Also, this is a fan favourite soundtrack in this track here. Oh, whoa, hello. Speaking of the soundtrack, normally in this category we would actually, when going for a PB, play with music off. But in a marathon setting, I'm keeping it on because people love the soundtrack in this game, I love the soundtrack in this game. It's slower because it causes lag, but and the lag has various effects on gameplay, kind of limits the speed we can build. But it's a marathon run, we're gonna have fun. And this is also a fun track. Really hard to hit every balloon in this track. So much can happen here. I got squished twice there, but it doesn't do too much, really. Just kind of slows you down. Still a pretty good Snowball Valley. You got what the track was called there. Speaking of lag and having music on, this track is one of the laggiest in the game, especially with music on. You're going to see the frame rate often be at 15 here, sometimes even at 12. Got a good jump we want to go for here. And a mechanic I haven't explained yet in car is that when I'm coming off a boost, when I'm coming off a boost, I want to A-tap a bit more slowly to ease back into it, oh no, lots of traps in this track, oh no. You want to ease back into the A-tapping slowly, so tap, 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 and then go back into normal rhythm. This is what we call feathering. It essentially preserves our boost a little more. Each boost kind of has two halves to it, the half where you're building speed, and then the half where you're trying to preserve that speed as much as possible. And feathering helps a lot for the second half of each boost. And, oh no. Bit rocky. That's fine. Just like that, we're done with 3 out of 5 trophies already. A little sneaky detail I want to mention, that I actually just set this up like 2 days ago, is that right here, there's no text box there, but if I had played through the adventure mode, I would have an extra text box to click through, which would be 4 extra text boxes in this run total. So I'm saving about 4 inputs per run by having a cartridge setup that does not have Adventure 2 unlocked. I actually just set that up recently, because I've been grinding this category recently. I actually got a very good time in this category now. I'm quite close to world record. And honestly, it was a bit of just a coincidence that I happened to be grinding this category when this run came up. It wasn't my intention. But that's how things have ended up. This is our last hover track. It's probably my favourite hover track to do in this category. Unfortunately, hover's a bit underrepresented in most full game categories, because there's only 3 tracks, really. However, in the individual track modes, so time trial and individual level balloon races, you can actually play every track in the game with hovercraft. So it's kind of a weird situation where Hover has the least representation in most categories, but in the context of ILs and time trials, it's actually the most represented vehicle. This is quite a difficult track. I've definitely had a lot of problems with this one recently. Greenwood Village. Some might say this is the hardest car track. It's definitely a top 3 hardest car track. Which is saying a lot because there are 12 car tracks in this run, out of 20 races totally. Car is definitely the most represented vehicle, I'd say, in most full game categories. Go for a balloon here. Nice slideless. And trying to really get all those air attacks there to hold that speed over those bumps. This turn is rough, but I got it. There we go. Good lap. Nice. Pretty good Gruner Village. We're on to our third plane track now, and this is often the scariest one. We've got the hardest out of bounds in the run here. I'm usually pretty good at this one, but I might jinx myself by saying that, so let's just hope this goes well. Good that we've got 8 bananas here. I haven't explained bananas yet, but they basically, each one you get adds 2.5% acceleration and speed. Okay, we got out. It's a slow clip, but we got out. Unfortunately, I lost my speed when clipping out. Not much you can do about that. I wasn't able to barrel roll immediately. But that's fine. As long as I get out at all, that's the main thing. So, quite a hard out-of-bounds padding as well. Aside from that though, I don't have too much to say, so if there's anything the hosts want to add right now, because I've been kind of talking over them this whole run, but if there's anything you want to add, you could do it for the next minute or so, because there's not too much going on in the next couple of tracks.
Alright. Sounds good. No, you're doing a great job, you know, explaining all the intricacies of this game while also playing very well. I'm very impressed. But yeah, I can take a minute to talk about. We have 2 more incentives open for the remainder of the marathon. So for our Super Metroid run, we've got a speedrun marathon classic. We have an incentive to save the animals. So we are currently $50 out of the $75 goal. So if you for $25 more, our runner will be opting to save the animals during their run. Also, and I believe this is our final run, is Astrobot. I believe it's a newer game. It's sort of taken the gaming world by storm in a sense. But a lot of people like it. We currently have a $75 incentive for a GMC showcase. Currently, nothing has been put in towards that incentive yet, but if that is something that you're interested in seeing, you can check out the Tiltify page for donations, and you can choose between one of these 2 incentives, so either Super Metroid or Astrobot. And as always, this marathon we're raising money for the Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center, a great organization that we've done events like these for them for quite some time now. So we're always happy to help out. So just letting the folks at NoHome that your donations are going towards a great cause. And I think that's all I have for now.
Oh no. Alright, well, in the meantime, I've progressed over to the last trophy. This track is not treating me well, and that's to be expected. This is widely regarded to be the hardest track in the game, and it's definitely showing. Definitely the hardest playing track. This one does have an out of bounds, but it's very difficult and not that much faster at the moment. That's unfortunate. I lost about like 9 or 10 seconds there. That's kind of expected though. This track is also very difficult. So normally when we're running this category, because we can do the trophies in any order, we tend to put this one first. Because it's got two very difficult tracks, I would say, at the very beginning. And then one pretty hard track is the third one, and an out of bounds, you gotta not mess up on the fourth one. So you definitely want to get the hardest one out of the way first. Don't worry about why I'm crashing into those walls. If it works, I will explain it. Yeah, this track is kind of another one of the laggiest tracks in the game, especially in Music On. We had Lag Village earlier, and now we have Lag Caverns. One sec. Oh yes! Yes! Let's go! Yes! Oh, I don't care, I got bubbled. Sorry, I got so excited there, I didn't low volley control there. I wanted to hit that so badly, I didn't think it would happen. There's a very rare shortcut that saved about 5 seconds. Let's go for it again. Hold on. I didn't get it. Let's go for the other one. Let's go for the other shortcut. You can do it on the red loop as well. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, I don't care. I'm so happy I hit that. Yeah, that is a very rare shortcut. It's very difficult to hit. And I didn't think I'd get it. Very happy I got to show that off. Wow, I'm too excited after that to actually commentate properly. Back at the last track here, we're nearly done. This is not as hard as the two preceding tracks, but it's still quite difficult. There is a balloon chain I'd like to go for. I did just miss the balloon, so I didn't get to do it on the slap. Hope I get to do it at least once, though. Trying to think if there's anything I've not mentioned yet. Oh, whoa. I don't think I've mentioned vertical car control yet, which is kind of a niche application in this track. More applications in other tracks, but right here, I pushed the car down a little bit, trying to ground it more quickly in that tunnel, so I could get a nice clean turn there, and it worked out. So you take the zipper, you use a balloon, and then you use another balloon, and it's really fast. Generally, like, you can stack up balloons in this game to get higher level things, but generally it's fast to actually use multiple single level boosts. Because you can just, you know, keep chaining them into each other, keep building up speed. Because the higher level boosts really just extend the boost duration. They're still useful, but generally it's better to do single boosts. Our final track, Space for Alpha, we got a Japanese only out of bounds in this track. So nice. They just forgot to put a polygon there. They fixed it in all other versions. But yeah, you can just fly out of bounds, and not too long now. Timing's gonna end when I cross the finish line on lap 3. You're kind of just flying in a triangle on this track. Got one checkpoint up here. Doing these power rolls to go to possible between them. Right, timing in about 3. And that's about 23:39 on my end, which is much better than I expected to get. I'm so happy I got a 23 in this. That was my goal time, and yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted from that run. I got the really silly shortcut I wanted. I got well into a 23. Yeah, I think I just about showed off everything I wanted to there. I'll shout out the community a bit. I'm not gonna try and name names because there are too many and I will definitely forget people. But This is a really great speedrunning community. We've got probably the nicest community I've ever been in, like, and I've met them in real life now, so I can vouch for that aspect of it too. They've been around for a couple of years, and they're just the best people to hang out with in voice calls doing dumb stuff at late hours. And super helpful community, and yeah, you get the gist. We've got our time trial website, dkr64.com, if you want to get into time trials. Of course, there's our speedrunner.com page, which links to our Discord server, which is, again, really helpful place to answer any questions you have. Yeah, just kind of another shout out to the community in general. Really happy they've kept me going with this game for so long. This game's super fun, and that's about it from my end.
All right. Well, thanks for showing us Diddy Kong Racing. That was an amazing run. It was a really cool that you managed to get the super difficult skip near the end there. That was like I'm not too familiar with the game, but I could tell from like the genuine excitement that you had when you got the trick on the loop there. I was very happy for you. But yeah. So stay tuned, everybody. We're going to be setting up for our next run, which I believe is Spider-Man 2, all bosses. So hope everybody can take a minute to get up, stretch, go get something to drink, and we'll be back with some more speedrun gaming in a little bit. So it should be off the air for now. I don't know where production is, but I won't say anything. But I think they'll probably let you know when you're free to go. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking like Mario Kart doesn't let you flip out of bounds, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely don't let you go that fast in Mario Kart. It's there's definitely a difference between Mario Kart games being precision races and DKR being a speed racer. Like, in this game, it's about how fast can you go, whereas in, say, like a non-shortcut Mario Kart time trial, it's like how tight can you go, really? How clean can you be? But in this game, just build as much speed as you can, and the racing lines are kind of a secondary consideration. Yeah, just big speed in this game. It's really fun.